Nation, the National 2002 Test, where you get to be at the most important part of the biggest ever live review of the year. And testing their powers of recall here in the studio are cabbies, hairdressers, parents, their teenage children, secretaries, rugby players. And to find out how much they remember and how much you remember at home, please welcome our unforgettable hosts for the evening, Anne Robinson and Philip Schofield.
And back to another great Test the Nation. This time it's a chance to see how much you can recall about the last 12 months. If you're brilliant at retaining general knowledge, or like me, shallow enough to never forget a decent piece of gossip, this is your chance to shine. Now, 2002 has been a year packed with memorable moments, from the introduction of the euro to the deaths of both the Queen Mother and Princess Margaret. There were floods across Europe, forest fires in Australia. We've seen golfing successes and spectacular cricket pitch failures. Are you prepared? Very shortly, we will be starting the biggest ever review of the year. And believe it or not, I'm here to help. I've shed my black clothes. I've been to the Smile shop. I don't have to put the smile back until midnight. And I'm going to make a really special effort to be pleasant all evening, even to Philip.
Yeah, we'll see. As Annie was saying, it's been an extraordinary year. We've seen Brian May playing to millions at Buckingham Palace and the Wimbledon Football Club playing to almost no one at Crystal Palace. We've found out that Winston Churchill was the greatest to ever Britain, and not Tony Blackburn, as many people thought. We've shared the ultimate joy of seeing Joan Collins get married again, and the ultimate heartache when it was announced that Hearsay were breaking up.
That was certainly one of the saddest moments of my year. Anyway, there's a number of ways to take part tonight. The simplest of all, you can just use a pen and paper and write down numbers 1 to 70. All the questions are multiple choice, so you don't have to put down any actual answers. It'll only confuse you later. You just need to write down each time whether it's A, B, C, or D. If you haven't got the foggiest idea, please take a guess, because you've got at least a 25% chance of being right. Those who know what to do with a computer can log on and play via the BBC website. The address should be on your screen right now. It's www.bbc.co.uk/testthenation. And if you're going down this route, you need to know the test will start in about 13 minutes. Digital viewers can also play with BBC Eye. Just press the red button on your digital handset and follow the on-screen instructions. Online and interactive players will receive back their scores at the end of the test. There's only one condition: you can't change channels once you've started, because if you do, you'll lose the results forever in cyberspace.
Now, if you're playing online, you are automatically representing your town or your city or your region, and all the results from web players will be collected by our computers. And in part 2, after the news, we'll be able to tell if the people in Norwich have any knowledge, whether they're thick in wick, fair in air, or the good folk of Shotton have simply forgotten.
You can also play along using the scorecard, which you'll find in the Sunday Times Culture section and in the Sunday Mirror TV supplement. Extra copies available on the website.
Now, as you've already seen, we have a studio that is absolutely bursting with competitive zeal. I, for one, can't wait to find out whether our rugby players will be able to convert their tries into points, whether the secretaries are going to take the right letters, whether our cabbies here really do have the knowledge. They think they do. Whether the hairdressers can cut it, whether our teenagers actually know more about their parents as opposed, well, to just thinking that they do.
There's actually 300 people here in the studio. It is a fantastic atmosphere. They're all raring to go, and it'll be interesting by the end to see who wins, the studio or the viewers at home. We will begin testing the nation now in 11 minutes. And just before that, as you can see, there are 10 empty chairs at the top of their studio. They are for our final group. Let us meet the celebrities.
He's always ducking, diving and doing dodgy deals. Tonight he's going straight. EastEnders star Paul Truman, played by Gary Beadle. And a woman who spent more time outside Buckingham Palace than a Coldstream Guard, it's royal watcher Jenny Bond. Throwing his weight behind our celebrity panel is gold medal winning javelin thrower Steve Buckley. It's the woman who says her biggest achievement of the year was getting out of bed in the morning. It's top comedian Joe Brand. And the man who's got the votes of millions of girls across the country is Celebrity Big Brother winner Mark Owen. She's made a big impact on TV, probably out of washing up bottles. It's Blue Peter's Connie Huck. He's crossed the Red Sea to be with us tonight. It's the international news correspondent Jeremy Bowen. As Janine Butcher, she's got the smartest mouth and sharpest tongue in Albert Square, but will she have the answers tonight? It's Charlie Brooks. He's driven through red lights to be here. Easy when you've got your own ambulance. It's Finn from Casualty, Kwame Kwei-Armah. No stranger to live television and certainly no stranger to news. It's Fiona Bruce.
Here are our celebrities. Welcome, one and all. How many of you now are sitting here thinking, I wish I had never done this? Everyone. Charlie, first of all.
Oh, hello.
What are you looking for, you know, sort of being hot in tonight? What's your hot
entertainment,
topic?
gossip, that sort of thing.
Yeah?
That's about it. Maybe a
And not
bit of
politics?
sport. No,
Don't
no,
think politics, no? And Mark Owen, we want
Yes.
to give sort of special mention to your plumber.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Tell us what happened.
Oh, well, my plumber, I just think he's a bit of a rare species, really. He came round to our house about 5 months ago and took away my toilet to be fixed. And he's still not returned it, so if he's watching, I'm just wondering whether he could bring the toilet back, like.
So it must have been a bit of a relief getting into the Big Brother house.
Yes, it was. They had a toilet there. It was very good.
Congratulations, buddy. What are your strong points?
I think sport, probably, hopefully, probably.
Jenny, you any good at sport?
I like to take an interest in sport, yes. I listen to 5 Live all the time, so that should be... Well, anyway, I've got him sitting next to me, so I'm going to be all right.
No cheating. You did threaten to resign this year, didn't you?
I did threaten to resign, yes. That's because they wouldn't let me go to the Jubilee party, the party at the Palace, and I so wanted to see Clapton and everyone, all my singers singing. And I was consigned across the road from Buckingham Palace in a great big media village in a tiny little white transit van, and I didn't see any of it. And yes, I did say, please, I will resign so I can go to the concert, and they said no.
You're hoping for some royal questions this evening?
No, I'm not, no, because I might get them wrong, and that would be deeply humiliating.
And Steve, obviously, sport hot for you tonight.
Well, let's hope so, yeah. I'd like to be strong at sport, but we'll wait and see.
All right, best of luck. Best of luck to all of you. Anne.
OK, so important milestones in 2000 to do for some of our celebrities. And here are a few more highlights to jog your memory.
Happy New Year! Come into my world. Won't you lift me up? High up on your love. Baby, I'm spending that on me. I don't need no man. Got my kicks for free.
I know the whole country will be deeply saddened by Princess Margaret's death.
She was, quite simply, the most magical grandmother you could possibly have. And I was utterly devoted to her.
Love you, and I need you. No matter what I do, all I think about is you.
Everything started to shake. I thought, that's an earthquake.
I gotta get through this. I gotta get through this. I gotta make it through. Said I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna get through this. I gotta take my mind off the
Bindery gets up to win the Grand National.
The winner is Will!
I don't care what
Hey, good night!
Not having second best in a post that's as important as this.
about the dog in me. I'm gonna freak in the morning, freak in the evening.
Turned out not to be as resilient as the real thing.
At long last, the nightmare's over.
Congress has now authorized the use of force.
What have you done today to make you feel proud? It's never too late.
The BBC Sports Personality of the Year is Paula Radcliffe.
To make you feel proud. What have you done today to make you feel proud? It can happen to any one of us. Say you will forgive me. Anyone can fail. Say you will believe me. I can't take my heart will break. 'Cause I made a stupid mistake. A stupid mistake.
Less conversation, a little more action, please. All this aggravation ain't satisfaction in me. A little more fight, a little less fun. A little less fight, a little more spark. Close your mouth and open up your heart and maybe satisfy me. Satisfy me, baby.
Coming up, so you better get this party started. Get this party started.
Gratitude, respect and pride. These words sum up how I feel about the people of this country and the Commonwealth, and what this Golden Jubilee means to me.
Great reminders there, actually. They're in fine fettle, this audience. Now, of course, our stage isn't complete without the experts. Tonight, we are privileged to have two of the most important and dashing figures from the world of news. If I was David Frost, I'd call them a dream team. First, a man who is a close friend of royal butlers, but probably no longer a friend of the royal family. Either way, he is the best-looking editor in Fleet Street, The Mirror's Piers Morgan.
Thank you.
Our second luminary I like to think of as the Tom Cruise or maybe the Arnold Schwarzenegger of Westminster, political commentator John Sargent. So, Piers, did you have a Christmas card from Buckingham Palace this year?
It hasn't arrived yet, no. No, I'm still
Right.
waiting, actually.
Now, traditionally, Mirror readers, of course, were very fond of the royal family. Has that all changed, do you
No,
think?
they still love reading about them,
Okay.
like everybody else. It was good, juicy stuff.
Now, I know you tried the IQ test earlier in May.
Are you going to behave this evening? Because
No,
I'm not
I've
going to
no
have any more of
intention
this.
of behaving with you. And how did you do? Just tell the nation.
You know I didn't do very well.
This is the editor of the Daily Mirror. What
Yes.
score did you get?
I scored 95.
Yes.
I was apparently more stupid than Jade from Big Brother.
That's
which,
right. In fact, you wouldn't get hired for any job at all, never mind an
Well, in fact,
editorship.
my own employers weren't very amused when they found out, and they're renegotiating my contract, so it's a bit embarrassing all round, really.
John, what's your greatest achievement of the year?
You're asking me to show off? OK, I got the bread maker to work.
Oh, good.
My wife gave it to me in April, and my first perfect loaf was produced in June.
And you've retired from Westminster?
Well, retired, yes. I mean, I've left it. I don't work late at night at Westminster, but apart from that, I'm working all the time, it seems.
OK, good luck. Thank you very much indeed.
Now, whether you are playing online via your TV handset, using a pre-printed scorecard or using good old-fashioned pen and paper, then get yourself ready to play. And let me stress the importance of trying to answer every question. If you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. No one's going to humiliate you, unlike some I could mention. Nicest ninepence tonight. We're just 1.5 minutes away from the start, and I should point out that this test has been compiled by researchers who have travelled the length and breadth of the country, taking sample questions to people of all ages in all regions to find out what were the most memorable events of 2002. Now, before we go any further, I should introduce you to this very important individual here. This is Giles. Would you tell us what you're going to do this evening?
Basically, my job is to monitor data from the internet, from our fantastic studio groups, and also hopefully reveal some fascinating figures during the course of the test.
All the information is coming in to you?
That's right, it's all coming in here.
Right. Do you have any information as to how many people have logged on so far?
I can't give you exact figures, but there are literally thousands and thousands logging on, and it's increasing as we go on.
Obviously. Terrific. Thank you very much indeed, Giles.
Right.
We'll see you a little bit later on. If you are playing with BBC I on the web, then here is the address again. And it's not too late to play. www.bbc.co.uk/testthenation. But be quick about it. Annie.
OK, that's enough. It is actually now time to test the nation on 2002. OK, just to remind you, there are 5 sections covering news, people, entertainment, sport and general knowledge. 70 questions in all, a choice of 4 simple answers each time, A, B, C or D. And I'll say again, it's important to answer every question. If you're not sure, please have a guess. You have nothing to lose and points to gain. I will read out both the question and the 4 possible answers. I know how annoying my voice is to hear, but we do need to look after anyone at home whose eyesight isn't too hot. So, on to our first section covering some of the major news stories of the year. First, a very brief reminder of some of those stories, and then into our first set of questions, 15 seconds each to answer.
Nobody told me it feels so good. Nobody said you'd be so beautiful. Nobody warned me about your smile. You're the light when I close my eyes. I'm gone.
Question 1. What was the euro worth after its launch in January? 42p, 52p, 62p, 72p. The A-level fiasco led to the resignation of which government minister? Harriet Harman, Estelle Morris, Theresa May, Margaret Beckett. What disrupted the run-up to the Golden Jubilee concerts at Buckingham Palace? A demo, a burst water main, a skydiver, a heater caught fire. The oil tanker that sank off Spain, causing one of the worst ever environmental disasters, was called what? Prestige, Premium, Premier, Prelude. At the Queen Mother's lying in state, which of these royals didn't take part in the vigil? Prince Charles, Prince Andrew, Peter Phillips or Viscount Lindley? OK, that's the end of the first set. A nice, gentle start to give you confidence. Philip.
This, of course, can lead to a very early end to the season of Goodwill. These are the parents. And these are their children. So, obviously, massive competition between these two sections here. Tariq Khan, he's from Rochdale. You work in the Highways Department. How was that first section for you?
It's hard.
Oh, really?
I just got through, yeah.
Did you know the Euro question?
I think so.
Are you doing a bit of guessing here?
It was, yeah.
Don't you let the side down. Your son is just on the other side there. Obviously, there's a bit of competition between the two of you. Who do you think is going to win?
I think I will win.
You're going to beat him?
Definitely, I'll beat him.
Oh, let's find out. He's over here. He's Fahid. Hello there. Your dad reckons he's going to beat you.
Yeah, that's what he thinks.
Yeah. How did you find out? How did you find that bit there?
That was challenging, but it was... Yeah.
Challenging, but OK?
But OK, yeah.
Right. I can let you know at this very early stage that 62% of the people in this studio actually got those all right. I don't know how many of them were here, though. Let's see with the next block. Anne.
Teenagers, you have just got to beat your parents, and remember that you haven't grown up till your parents stop embarrassing you, right? And the next set of questions, by rights, cab drivers should sail through these because it requires memory for places, such as naming where the world major events happened. Again, 5 questions, 15 seconds. OK, where was a group of British plane spotters found guilty of espionage but later acquitted? Turkey, Albania, Romania or Greece? Which European city's zoo had to be evacuated in August because of massive floods? Prague, Hamburg, Budapest, Vienna. Which city hosted the World Summit in August? Geneva, Kyoto, Delhi or Johannesburg? In which US state were 9 miners rescued after being trapped in a flooded mine shaft? Iowa, Pennsylvania, Oregon or Minnesota? And which British town was the epicentre of an earthquake measuring 4.8 on the Richter scale? Doncaster, Derby, Dewsbury or Dudley? Of course, the cabbies, Philip, are looking terribly confident, but they would, wouldn't they, whether they got all the answers right or not?
I've actually been watching them. They're helping each other here. You're supposed to be playing individually, for goodness sake. Actually, there are a few nervous faces here because they're worrying about how much they're losing on the night rate at the moment. So, Robert Richland, you're from Watford. Who have you had in the back of your cab?
Michael Portillo, Ian Botham.
Michael Portillo, eh?
Michael Portillo, yes.
Good tipper?
Yeah.
Pleasant chat, was he all right?
Very pleasant chat, yeah.
Yeah, OK. And how you feel you're going to do this evening?
I think do OK.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I noticed that Tony Sharman was one of the people here that was conferring.
Oh, no. We hadn't been to any places. We didn't get a job at one of us. You didn't get one at Greece, did you?
No, not this year. Nor at Doncaster.
So, what are you telling me? You didn't get any of these right?
I don't know. We don't know these places, do we?
Do you think a secretary... Can I ask you, do you think a secretary would make a good cabbie?
Put them in the front, they'll be all right, yeah.
In the front?
Of the cab,
Well, that's where they'd be if they were a cabbie. Let's go over here because we've actually got Maria. And Maria, you're taking the knowledge, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So you're a secretary at the moment?
I am indeed.
And when do you reckon your knowledge is up and running and you're ready to take the wheel?
Hopefully 18 months' time.
OK.
God willing.
Let me just go. I've got some information here. Give me that again.
We are doing
the cabbies are beating the secretary.
Our final set of questions in the news section is a chance for newspaper junkies to get ahead. We'll be showing you some of the most significant headlines of the year. You need to identify the story. Once again, 5 questions, 15 seconds each. Romeo, Romeo, why for art thou Romeo? To whose son was this referring? Liz Hurley, the Henmans, Michael Jackson, or the Beckhams? The Queen came through for me. Who did the Queen come through for? Ben Elton, Camilla Parker Bowles, Paul Burrell, or Graham Norton? Goodbye Prudence referred to the actions of which politician? Ken Livingstone, Gordon Brown, John Major, or John Prescott? Heather weds Paul at Castle. Where was the castle? England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. And Blair pressed over killer memo. What was the subject of Blackrod's communication? The Queen Mum's funeral, Iraq, the A-level fiasco, or the fireman's strike? OK, that's the end of the news section. I hope it's going well at home. Philip, the rugby players, they're quite handsome, actually, aren't they? And what's more, they've all got their teeth.
They've all got their own teeth. Well, some of them have anyway.
Well, we don't know they've all got their own
well,
teeth.
if you say so, Anne, they are a handsome bunch here. Although, funnily enough, let's talk to Jonathan. Jonathan Bracey, yeah?
Hello, Philip.
Well, who'd you play for?
British Airways.
And how are you finding this section so far?
A bit of help from my friends, but getting on OK.
So you're cheating?
Yeah.
You are cheating?
Unfortunately.
All right, fine. There weren't any questions in there about Tina Turner, were there?
No, or about Las Vegas.
No. Well, maybe we ought to just have a look at this picture here. Ah, that's you on the left. Would you like to explain that picture?
It was a friend's wedding in Las Vegas, and we were told it was fancy dress. Unfortunately, when we turned up, there was only 3 of us in fancy dress, which led to quite an eventful evening.
I'm sure it did, yes. Okay, well, you're walking all right, anyway. Chris Murray, who is here by the time, but you've just had some stitches out this morning, haven't you?
This morning, hospital, yeah, Guy's Hospital.
What happened?
You might call it a cauliflower. It was actually a haematoma in my right ear.
Right, OK, that's a long word for a rugby player, isn't it? and what, look, just turn your head sideways there, let's have a look at that.
It went up to like a walnut size, but now it's back to normal, so quite happy with it.
You just changed ears then? Gee, what was it now?
That's the bad one, and that's the normal one.
You're doing very well at the moment, rugby players, OK? 82% average at the moment, so very good.
Political story been this year?
I think the 2 resignations from the cabinet. One happened, I suppose, too slowly, Stephen Byers. One happened too quickly, Estelle Morris. One was about too much spin. That was the Byers story. And poor old Estelle Morris didn't have enough spin. She didn't have enough people saying, you're great, you're doing well. So I thought those were the 2, for me anyway, those were the 2 interesting stories of the year.
Piers, do you sleep at night? All the people's lives you ruin, all the gossip.
Coming from you, I might add, that's pretty real. My God, the woman described as the most hated woman in America, no less, this year. I sleep very well, thank you, yes.
All right. But in fact, it's full of humbug, tabloid journalism, isn't it?
Of course
you're
it is,
quoted as saying that if the average newsroom was tested on a Monday morning, there'd be enough results to keep the Colombian economy going.
Yes, that's fair, yes, I think, yes. Yeah, we're a bunch of disgusting hypocrites, yes, I think that's fair to say, yeah. Well, you should know, you used to be one.
Yeah, I still am. It's sort of... Don't you think your private lives should be exposed as well?
Well, yeah, but unfortunately, every time the Sun exposed me, the sale goes down, so it's a bit embarrassing. I don't sell papers very well, but if I did, I'd expose myself.
OK.
With our celebrities over here now. Jenny, The newspapers this morning are full of Duke of Edinburgh with black eyes and what looks like a really very heavily damaged nose. Do you know anything about that? What do your sources say?
My sources say he's absolutely fine. In fact, he was out this afternoon, I think he was shooting or whatever, and he kept joshing with all the correspondents and saying, you don't believe what you read in the papers. But clearly, something appears to have happened, but as far as the palace is concerned, nothing has happened.
Maybe there was a bit of a fight in there as to who got the interactive button tonight for the programme.
This could be it, yes.
Who would do well on something like that within the
Well,
royal
I think he
household?
would, actually. I think Duke of Edinburgh would, because he's got a lot of interests and he's very keen on them all. So I think he'd do well. And on the sporting section, I suppose Princess Royal will give everyone a run for their money. Gary, who do you think, who's been inspirational for you this year?
I don't know, I'm not really into rugby, but that England manager's done pretty well. Yeah, it's a bit of an achievement.
and Jeremy, do you get a chance to see anything other than news?
I watch the TV with my daughter, yeah.
What sort of stuff do you watch?
Teletubbies, Noddy, that kind of thing.
Well, let's hope for your sake there are some of those in here this evening.
I hope so.
Although I wouldn't hold your breath.
I'm an expert.
Thank you very much. Stand by. Here we go. Here's Anne.
OK. We're going to do People 2002 now, personalities who've dominated this year's events. A few coming up as a reminder, then 5 questions, 15 seconds each, in which you have to name the missing face on the photograph. OK, 16. Who is the missing face? Michelle Yeoh, Terry Hatcher, Halle Berry or Denise Richards? And the missing face here, Ewan Thomas, Paula Radcliffe, David Beckham or Michael Owen? And the missing face here, Claudia Schiffer, Britney Spears, Jerry Halliwell or Ulrika Johnson? This time the choice is Rory Bremner, Tom Hanks, Ben Elton or Kevin Spacey. Finally, who's been blanked out here? James Callaghan, Michael Foot, Neil Kinnock or Dennis Healy? Very easy, that section. Philip, you're with the hairdressers. You spend a lot of time at the hairdressers, don't you? All those colour changes.
You've got some room to talk. Where do you reckon that shade of red would come from? A bottle? Brewed underneath the Dark Tower by orcs, I feel. Sue Jackson, you cut the hair of anyone famous?
Not really, no.
No? And are the glossy magazines in your salon up to date?
Yes, every week.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you're getting a lot of information from those glossy
Oh,
mags?
yes, all the time.
Yeah. People say you're a bit of a looky-likey, don't they?
Yes, they do. They say I look like Anastasia.
Do they? Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look at Anastasia. There's Anastasia, and here's you again. Yes. Oh, that's not bad. Would you like to know your personal score?
No. No.
It's all right.
Okay-ish.
It's 60% at the moment.
Okay.
60%, not doing too bad. And the hairdressers are okay. You're all right. So far, so good.
I thought they'd be best on where people went for their holidays. That's
Pardon?
what I thought they'd be best on where people went for their holidays. That's what they always ask. OK. The next set of questions, People 2000, a series of quotes, hopefully memorable ones. We want to know who said them. Again, 15 seconds, 5 questions coming up. OK, who said British people don't seem to ask each other out on dates? Nicole Kidman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Jerry Hall, or Gillian Anderson? Who said never underestimate the determination of a quiet man? Sven-Goran Eriksson, Ian Duncan Smith, Ian Paisley, or David Frost? Who said the Jubilee Girl is here? Prince Charles, Sir George Martin, Sir Paul McCartney, or Dame Edna Everage? Who said, I wish my flat was filled with one big man in his blue underpants? Charlie Dimmock, Dale Winton, Edwina Currie, Nancy de Olio. And who said, my mother always said, when you're eating pretzels, chew before you swallow? Dick Cheney, Colin Powell, Bill Clinton, or George W. Bush? And my favourite quote of the year was from Angus Deaton when he said, when one door closes, another one falls on top of you.
Our teenagers have agreed to come out with their parents for the first time in a long time this evening. And one of them is David. David Griffin, hiya.
Hi.
How are you doing so far?
Not too bad, hopefully.
Yeah, OK. And your dad says something really annoying to you. I mean, lots of dads say things that really bug the kids.
Yeah, he's got a very unfortunate habit of every time I say something and he manages to prove me wrong, he always goes, well, you know best, pet. So it knocks my morale right down.
And there's no comeback to that, is there?
There's not really, is there?
And do you think he knows best?
Well, what do you think? You tell me your score.
Well, I'll do yours first. You've got 60% at the moment. It's not bad. Let's go and find out whether your dad actually does know best. He's called Peter, and he's over here. So this is rather an annoying habit you have.
Well, it's one of the few things there that I say to him that cuts him dead. Yeah. He has no answer to it at all there, so I keep saying it when he gets things wrong.
I wonder whether we've got your score. Actually, do you think you know better than him?
Oh, a lot more.
Yeah, do you?
Hell of a lot more, yeah.
Do you know how many he's got? He's got 80%. You have what would probably be described as the naughtiest son, or certainly when he was little.
I did have, that's right.
What did he do?
What didn't he do?
What sort of stuff? Tell me about the nail varnish.
OK. Should I tell him?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why you're here.
Well, he, when he was about 2.5, Dad was looking after him. Daddy fell asleep. Rick found the red nail varnish and painted everything in the house.
And he's over here. He's over here. And this is him. This is Rick. You giving up the red nail varnish now?
Oh, no, I still wear it on Saturdays, yeah.
You are now head boy?
I am, yes.
Yeah, terrific. Who's going to win tonight, you or your mum?
Oh, obviously me, yeah.
We'll see. Annie?
OK, thanks. Now, the final questions in the People section. This is the movers and shakers of 2002, people who've had success or come to prominence because of a particular achievement or appointment. 5 questions, 15 seconds each. OK, Rowan Williams was appointed to which post? Minister of Agriculture, Director General of the BBC, Archbishop of Canterbury, or Speaker of the House? Who was re-elected President of France in June? Lionel Jospin, Jacques Chirac, Jean-Marie Le Pen, or Jean-Pierre Raffarin? Who was appointed chairman of the Tory party after the departure of David Davis? Michael Ancram, Theresa May, Stephen Norris, or Anne Widdecombe? Now, Steve Fossett went up in the world and became what? First solo balloonist to circle the globe, oldest man to climb Everest, first space tourist, or world's tallest man? Finally, who became the new Director General of MI5? Tara Palmer Tomkinson, Elizabeth Butler Slosh, Vicky Butler Henderson, or Eliza Manningham Buller? OK, that's the end of the People's section. Philip's with the teenagers, whose hair, of course, unlike Philip's, shows no sign of going grey at all.
Mine when I was 16, actually. This is as natural as it gets. I say that the teenagers, we're sort of looking here, and people are getting a little bit sleepy. I'm not actually talking about teenagers, but their parents are dozing off a little bit over there. James Cotton, you're a bit of a film buff, aren't you?
Indeed.
OK. And who inspires you filmically?
Martin Scorsese.
So have you seen all the films?
Not all, but I'm getting there.
Right. And you're a projectionist, aren't you, in your spare time?
Trainee.
Yeah, trainee. Yeah. How long before you're fully fledged?
I'm not sure, but it'll be a while.
OK. And what you entered a talent contest, didn't you, David?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, as?
Gareth Gates.
Did you win?
I came third.
OK. Well, best of luck this evening. Hopefully you'll do better than that this evening. Best of luck. Annie is with our startled celebs.
Now, Fiona, new baby this year.
Yeah.
New job.
Yeah.
Which is the most tiring?
Definitely the new baby, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
OK. Joe, another baby there, new baby.
Yeah, it's not mine. I don't know whose it is.
You still getting to the gym, Joe?
Still getting to the what, oh daughter of darkness?
Jenny Bond, see, apart from the royal, the thing that really interests me, have you got your ankle bracelet on?
I do, yes, I always wear it. Because basically, because I'm too...
Can't we see it?
No, because I've got boots on and things, but I'm too old to take it off. You know, when you get old, you can't do those fiddly bits, so...
OK, Tommy, are you a people watcher?
Not really.
Oh. Are you good with people who are sick?
Yeah, really, really good.
Yeah. Well, the amazing thing is you're in first place. You must be good at something, even though you don't look like it, celebs. Isn't that amazing?
Early days. John, who's been in the political arena the sort of the biggest unsung hero, do you think, this year?
Well, I suppose the heroines, really. It's the heroines who run the number 10 switchboard. They can get you wherever you are in the world, whether you're in Moscow or Brussels or what have you. A voice comes on, "Hello, John, I have Alistair for you." And...
You don't take his call, did you?
You'd have kept the switchboards extremely busy this year, of course.
Very busy this year.
And who do you think are the rising stars who we're going to see more of in 2000?
Well, I want to see a lot more of you and Mark Owen, and the reason is I'm actually, to my shame, I'm a biographer of both of these men, and the books have been on the remainder list for a long time, but they've both made great comebacks, and I'm hoping to sell a few more copies. So if you could both really keep it going, that'd be great.
Maybe you'll leave us alone, eh? What do you reckon?
I have to say he did slightly better than he did, I have to say.
What about your own personal achievement? Biggest personal achievement for you this year?
Getting the butler, but how long have you got? No, getting the butler was great because I had a curious strategy of offering the lowest amount of money, which proved successful, which was a stunning surprise. We always offer the lowest amount at the Mirror, and on this occasion it worked. And we sold millions of papers. Our rivals got incredibly furious, and it was great fun.
Well done, you. Pat on the back, yeah?
It was a great story. OK, I hope everyone at home is still on speaking terms with the rest of the family. If you haven't been too hot on news and people, you might score better in the next section, which is entertainment. We're first going to go to a few highlights from the world of TV, film and music. Then again, 5 questions, except this time each question starts with a clip, 15 seconds, in our entertainment section.
What am I doing without you? All of the things I've been looking for have always been here outside of my door. And all of the time I'm looking for something new.
Thank you very much. Good evening. I was lucky enough to win one of these last year as part of the Inspector Morse team, and I'd just like to say I wish it could be John Thorpe here presenting this instead of myself. He was... He was much garnered by the Academy. He was a fellow and had won many Best Actor awards and many Best Series awards. And I know that he's here in spirit, so, John, I salute you, and I'm unashamedly rooting for your film tonight.
OK, who collected John Thor's posthumous BAFTA? Diana Rigg, Sheila Hancock, Dennis Waterman, or Michael Gambon?
I have no alternative but to impose an immediate custodial sentence. The period of your imprisonment shall be 8 years. Take her down.
Little Mo was sent down for attempting to murder Trevor. Now she attacked him with what? An ashtray, a wine bottle, an iron, or a spanner?
I've got the big role. You know, this is what I've really been hanging in for. Log man. Fantastic, mate. You ain't seen nothing yet. Not all. I might even start talking to them. Hello, Logs. How are you? Lovely to see you.
You've got to get to Logs Anonymous.
I got a log length problem. Monday, collect logs. Tuesday, collect logs. Wednesday, collect logs.
OK, Tony Blackburn was the last celebrity left in the jungle, but who was voted out first? Uri Geller, Nigel Benn, Darren Day, or Rona Cameron?
Well, you can find out what you like on the internet, man.
Bet you can't find out where Lord Lucan lives. Huh?
Well, let's have a look.
Go ahead.
Hold on a minute. Takes a little minute.
Okay.
"202 Avenue de las Haciendas, Montevideo, Uruguay."
Is there still a reward?
Hey, never mind the reward, Moxie. We'll all make a few bob if this deal comes through.
Yeah, we will, won't we?
In our Wiedersehen Pet, the boys reconstructed a bridge across a US canyon to get where? A theme park, a nature reserve, a shopping mall, or a casino?
Morning, Gareth.
In The Office, which branch has been absorbed into David Brent's? Is it Swindon, Slough, Milton Keynes, or Reading? David Brent, wonderful. And there are lots of secretaries with bosses like David Brent. No?
How many of you? How many of you have a boss like David Brent? I know you do. You're not going to own up to it, are you? That's the way. You are Debbie Lane.
I am.
Yeah, and your boss is a bit like him, isn't he?
Yes, he's a lot like
Is he
him,
going to
actually.
mind you telling the story?
Hopefully not.
You work for an accountancy firm.
I
don't you?
do, yes.
Yeah. What does he do?
In my appraisal, he put his hands behind his head and put the old heeled boots up on the desk and...
High heel boots?
Yeah. He does the dance, he does absolutely everything.
Is he a plonker?
No.
And also, can I just ask the secretaries, now we've sort of all got you here, how many of you have been asked by your boss to buy a present for their wife? Oh, no, not a single one. Not a single person here. Never? How do you think you're doing this evening? Doing all right? Yeah, you'll find out later. Find out later. Still loads of time to go. Annie?
Now, Mark, did you have an easy time in Big Brother compared to The Jungle?
I think it was, to be honest, yeah. I mean, in The Jungle, they had like the snakes and the leeches and stuff, and pretty hard tasks.
But you had Anne Diamond.
We had Anne Diamond's bread and Les Dennis's flatulence. That was kind of it, really, yeah.
Connie, what's the wildest place you've ever been to?
Oh, that's tricky. I haven't ever been anywhere that wild, really.
Well, you've been in the Blue Peter studio, haven't you?
Yeah, that's quite wild. I mean, we do bring animals in, like snakes and creepy crawlies and stuff like that, but yeah, I've never been sent to the jungle or anything yet.
Charlie, what's the most scary? Phil Butcher? Phil Mitchell, rather. You can tell I'm a fan. Phil Mitchell? Or Test the Nation?
I was actually quite nervous coming on here this evening, but I'm enjoying myself. So I'd say Phil Mitchell, probably.
Right. Something's going terribly badly wrong because the group in the lead at the moment are the celebs. Yeah. Can you believe that? And Jenny Bond is leading the celebs. How about that? Not Jeremy Bowen, who does the news, or Fiona Bruce.
What do you think of this, guys? I mean, we're sort of with a group of rugby players here. The celebs are in the lead.
Definitely.
What's your name?
It's Freedom.
Freedom?
Freedom, yeah.
OK, Freedom, what do you think?
It's a definite fix.
You reckon?
I know so.
You know so.
Too convenient.
Who do you think is the brightest celebrity up there?
The brightest?
The brightest celebrity.
It has to be the lady in the middle, the lady in black. Don't even know her name.
Jenny? Oh, Charlie. Charlie's talking about
Charlie.
you. Charlie.
Wrong
he reckons
choice.
You're the pick the wrong one. Annie.
Right. We're going on to the next section, and we're into the world of film. 5 memorable lines from 5 major films of the year. Again, 15 seconds per question. With great power comes great responsibility is from what? Red Dragon, Triple X, Spider-Man, or Scooby-Doo? Kids these days, they don't get scared like they used to. Is that Lilo and Stitch, Monsters, Inc., Star Wars Episode 2, or Spy Kids 2? The last suit you'll ever wear again comes from My Big Fat Greek Wedding, The Importance of Being Earnest, Men in Black 2, or Spider-Man. I'm placing you under arrest for the future murder of Sarah Marks comes from The Bourne Identity, Road to Perdition, Insomnia, or Minority Report. Finally, there has to be a mathematical explanation for how bad that tie is. Comes from Signs, A Beautiful Mind, Gosforth Park, or Ocean's 11. Well, if the celebrities are already leading, I would have expected them to do very well on movies, but how about rugby players? Do you get away from the bar on a Saturday night to go to the cinema?
Well, Paul Richards certainly does, because you are a film buff, aren't you?
Yeah, I like the occasional film.
How often do you go?
I work in the industry, so it's...
What do you do?
I'm the operations director for a film promoting internet site.
So obviously you get to see a whole load of stuff free, I would have
screenings,
thought. Yeah. And so what are your top 3 movies of the year?
It's got to be Goldmember, Austin Powers, Star Wars, just because it's Star Wars, and Signs, Mel Gibson.
What about Turkey of the year?
Turkey of the year, I would say Spider-Man.
Didn't like Spider-Man?
No.
OK, how do you think you're doing at the moment?
Very well, I hope.
Do you?
You've been copying me.
80% average. Bring it on!
Things have changed since my day. Right, our final set of questions in the entertainment section is all about music. 5 clips of some of the year's most memorable music moments. The clips will vary in length, but the answer time remains the same, 15 seconds.
Cause you're the one good reason, yeah. You're the only girl that I need. Cause you're more beautiful than I have ever seen. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna take this night and make it evergreen. Oh, yeah, yeah. And make it evergreen.
Ah, Will Young's debut single featured Evergreen. Name the other track on the A side. Was it Light My Fire, Any One of Us, Anything Is Possible, or You and I? Okay, which artist won 3 Mobos? Miss Dynamite, Mystique, Alicia Keys, or Ashanti? Right, why was Jennifer Pike's victory as Young Musician of the Year so notable? She was the youngest ever winner, her brother won in 2000, she played with a broken arm, or she was deaf. Okay, which event adopted that famous song? The Commonwealth Games, the Queen's Jubilee Concert, the Party in the Park, or the September 11th concert?
Maybe I was wrong and I tried to pretend, but always in my heart I know that I want you come back before you break my
The Eurovision, of course, and where did British entrant Jessica Garlick finish? Was it 3rd, 5th, 8th, or 12th? Okay, that's the end of the entertainment question. Whether the Eurovision Song Contest has anything to do with music is, of course, another question in itself. But never mind. Philip, where is he?
Down here.
Oh, I can see you. Have we decided our groups are as trendy and as sexy as you are?
Well... Like most parents, struggling to keep up with what's hip and trendy. You see some extraordinary things in the studio, I have to say, that up there on the top row of the rugby players, to watch them swaying backwards and forwards in time to All You Need Is Love. Just lovely, guys. Well done. It was a gorgeous moment. Ian Middleton is from Staffordshire. You're Ian, aren't you?
Yes.
What's your... how did you do that music section there?
I don't think I scored very highly, actually.
No. Just tell us your musical taste.
I think I'm a bit of a throwback to the 70s concept album type of thing, really. I like a lot of, like the old Marillion type of music.
Marillion, yeah. What was the last CD you bought?
Actually, I think I'm quite hip with that one, because it was Puddle in... no, I haven't got the name right. Puddle of Mud.
Puddle of Mud. Your daughter Kimberly is over here. Kimberly, tell me about his taste in music. Is it as disastrous as he's just made out?
Yeah, it is.
Does he listen to your stuff?
No.
How did you do in that last section?
I think I did all right, actually.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Annie?
OK. Now, John, as a political commentator, you have to be completely impartial, don't you?
Of course, absolutely.
So what were you doing playing Santa at number 10 this year?
Oh, well, that's not a very political role, is it?
Playing Santa?
I don't think it is, no. It was actually a marvellous occasion. I had to learn sign language because the children were deaf, and it was a fantastic occasion. And I, of course, was a very jolly, nice Father Christmas.
Is politics moving into the world of entertainment, do you think?
I am, certainly. I don't know where the politics is. I think it's bound to be quite near it most of the time.
Piers, who was missing from your list of Great Britons? Who would you have nominated?
Oh, I think John Sargent. Very much
Not
so.
yourself, Piers.
Great Britain. Well, I'm too modest, you know that.
Very nice of you to say that.
Yeah, I think John Sargent.
And if you could put someone into Madame Tussauds?
Into Madame Tussauds?
Yes.
What, cover them in hot molten wax? You, probably.
OK. That's a nice
Connie,
answer.
you went to the party at the Palace, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what was it like?
It was really surreal, actually. There's just such an eclectic mix of people, like ageing rockers and teeny boppers and, like, S-Club and Cliff Richard duetting in their rehearsals.
But was it enjoyable?
Yeah, it was, sort of.
Joe, are you up on music? I mean, you've got your sort of young children. You're going to have to know everything, aren't you?
Do I?
Yes, you do.
Well, I know you were in Joseph, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, yeah. That's
You're
not going to cut much ice with your kids, unfortunately.
Oh, it does?
Does it?
Yes, absolutely. They've got pictures of you on the wall already.
Oh, really?
And I've thrown a few darts at them.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. Who is looking after your new baby this evening?
Oh, some bloke I met at the bus stop.
Is he going to be taking part this evening?
Don't know. He's quite drunk.
Is he? And how are you doing this evening, do you reckon?
I should imagine fairly badly, because I'm quite drunk as well.
What's your best section? Rugby players. I might have known that reaction would have come from the rugby players. That instant love between you and the rugby players.
Time I've ever been cheered by some rugby players. I find it upsetting.
Another perfect mother. Right, there's 25 questions still to go. I hope women at home are currently way ahead, because the next section is sport, which always has the blokes feeling superior. Can you hear the rugby players perking up? OK. We're going to show you some great sporting moments, followed by 5 questions, 15 seconds each. Get on your marks, get set, go for Sport 2002. Question 46. In July, which sporting legend underwent a liver transplant? Nobby Stiles, Bobby Charlton, George Best or Dennis Law? Before the World Cup, Ireland manager Mick McCarthy had a spat with which player? Was it Jason McAteer, Damien Duff, Robbie Keane or Roy Keane? Alan Baxter was stripped of his Winter Olympics ski medal because he missed a gate, his skis were wrong, a positive drug test from a flu remedy, or he went out of sequence. Who captained the European golf team to victory in the Ryder Cup? Ian Woosnam, Nick Faldo, Seve Ballesteros, or Sam Torrance? And who knocked Tim Henman out of Wimbledon? David Nalbandian, Leighton Hewitt, Gustavo Curtin, or Pete Sampras? Okay, how are your favourite people, the hairdressers, doing, Philip?
Is it just me, or did Anne have more wrinkles at the end of the IQ test? Now, Charlie's over here. This is Charlie. He's got a salon in Edinburgh. And you, being a hairdresser, occasionally there are the odd disasters, aren't there?
There are.
And tell me about your worst one.
The very worst one I did, and the unforgivable. We left a lady under lights with bleach on her hair, and everyone forgot about her. Subsequently, all her hair literally burnt off her head. And she had long, beautiful blonde hair. This was 1976, by the way.
Yes, you hasten to add it's not happening in a salon at the moment. She went to America and was a bit of a hit, wasn't she?
She went to America on holiday with a scarf on her head, took it off in San Francisco, and as there was sort of flavour of punk at the time, they thought she looked terrific.
Ah?
And she forgave me.
Yes, she did forgive you. What happened when she came back?
She made my life and married me.
You married with a lady with no hair. Right, I've got, just get this, we get information fed through all the time. I do have your position, I think, at the moment. Could you give that to me again? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Hairdressers, you are currently 5th. Oh,
Do we know who's bottom? No, we don't know who's bottom. Do you think it's probably the rugby players, isn't it? OK, in this section, big sporting achievers of the year, 2002, of course, has been memorable for people breaking records. As the next 5 questions will prove, 15 seconds to answer each one. Michael Schumacher won the Formula One Championship racing for which team? Ferrari, Jordan, Williams, McLaren. Ian Thorpe dominated the swimming events at the Commonwealth Games, but what was his nickname? Speedo, Flipper, the Shark, Torpedo. Paula Radcliffe broke the women's world marathon record in which city? Was it New York, Newcastle, London, or Chicago? Now, Man United reportedly paid £30 million transfer fee to which club for Rio Ferdinand? Was it West Ham, Liverpool, Leeds, or Newcastle? And jockey Tony McCoy broke the record for the number of winners ridden in a season. Now, who'd previously held this record? Was it Sir Gordon Richards, Scobie Breesley, Lester Pickett, or Willie Carson? Right, Philip, the cabbies have been very quiet. It must be hard for them not to have opinions for all this time.
It is, but what's fascinating watching them, they're all actually facing the other way to look at the screen. And this is Jerry. You are a bit of a sports fan, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Jerry, what did you do at your wedding?
Well, I got married in September the 14th, but it was before the fixture list came out that we organised the wedding. As it turned out, my team, Manchester United, were actually playing on the day I got married. Got married at 11 o'clock, but made sure there was a big screen where we had our drinks in the hotel for the 12 o'clock kick-off.
What's your wife called?
Justine.
What did she think about
Not
that?
impressed.
No. I can imagine that. And what's the name of your little boy? 17 months old?
He's 17 months old, yeah. Jack Ryan Giggs.
Apparently showing a bit of an interest in Liverpool. We've let
I hope not. No. I pray.
How do you think? Are you doing well this evening?
I don't know. Average 60%, something like that.
Got 78% average.
We're on to the final section on sport, and we're going to show you a series of clips, triumphs and disasters, a bit like the England cricket team, but there are triumphs here as well. At the end of each clip, a question. You've got 15 seconds.
In fact, they're taking up the far post position, those two. Oh, and Seaman's been beaten. It's a goal. It's Ronaldinho. He scored direct from the free kick. Ronaldinho has made it 2-1 Brazil. And everybody was watching, those in the penalty area. Maybe Seaman was as well. The ball went over his head.
Dear, dear, that was the goal that put England out of the World Cup. But who did Brazil then face in the semi-finals? Was it Korea, Turkey, Senegal or Germany?
Francis Robert Gnarly, the Commonwealth Marathon champion, wins the gold medal, and he's not stopping. Somebody tell him, please. He's now finished. Goodness me, he's carrying on running. He doesn't even know it. He wants to make absolutely sure. Somebody please let him know.
Joshua Chalanga, he's not sure he's finished either. He's setting off in pursuit of Francis Gnarly, who's now doing a lap of honour, which he thinks is the last lap of the race. And there's a little bit of confusion out there, which is very disappointing. But there's the winner crossing the line again, and he wants to go round again.
OK, Francis Gnarly running that extra lap at the Commonwealth Games, but at which stadium? Was it Glasgow, Manchester, Birmingham or Nottingham? Yes, Serena Williams winning the Wimbledon ladies singles. How many times had she won it before? Never? Once? Twice? 3 times? Dear, dear, javelin thrower Elvis Smith represented which country in the Commonwealth Games? Was it sadly Jamaica or St Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago or Turks and Caicos?
It's on its way. So much depending on one stone. It needs to be absolutely perfect. It needs to be right in the centre of the house. It's looking good. She's done it!
Can you name the skipper of that British gold medal winning curling team? Was it Rona Martin, Fiona MacDonald, Margaret Morton or Deborah Knox? I think they're looking a bit pensive over there, aren't they? Not so pleased with themselves.
Jonathan down here has actually asked... I was standing here, he said, what do you reckon, Phil? What do you reckon? Otherwise known as Tina, of course. Up here is BJ Mather. That's a very professional name. You did play professionally, didn't you?
Yeah, I did for 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
And then you retired?
Yep.
So, any hints of perhaps going back?
Not at the minute, no. I'm quite happily retired at 30, thank you.
Would you go back if the sort of right contract came along?
No.
No.
No,
Giving it up
not.
now?
Yeah, it's too hard, really.
Would you like to... do you think you're doing very well within the team? Are you sort of... You're lifting them up here, do you think?
Well, from all the whispers that are going on, I think the team's doing really well.
Let me get your overall position. The overall position is...
First. Gotta be first.
What? Tell me that again. You joined first!
see. They're not just pretty faces. Now, this is a really easy question for you, Piers, so you won't have any difficulty. If I was to say Wednesday, May the 8th, 9:48 p.m., what would you say to me?
Yes. Well, that was the night that an evil regime with weapons of mass destruction was overwhelmed by superior moral force. Arsenal beat Man United in their own backyard. And it's pathetic, really, but it's one of the greatest moments of my life. I was at Old Trafford that evening, celebrating on the pitch, almost getting arrested, when I suddenly had this vision of Eamon Holmes. I don't know why, but every morning I wake up to hear that idiot banging on about United being unbeatable. And I had this vision of him just weeping gently somewhere, and it was fantastic.
Have you a sporting achievement, John?
Me, a sporting achievement?
For sporting achievement.
Oh, favourite sporting achievement this year? Oh, well, it's when we all got so worried about David Beckham's foot. And the Sun said we should pray, and the Prime Minister intervened, the Cabinet were informed, and the foot was healed.
Right. Do you think it was the Sun that did it?
It was the Mirror what did it, definitely. I have no idea how, but I'm claiming the credit, definitely.
Joe, would you say that you're a sporty person?
Oi!
Oh, come on, don't let her down now.
No, I would say I'm sporting because I'm not going to punch you for asking me that. I do sport. I throw the javelin.
Do you?
At the paper boy.
And Steve, obviously you do such a thing. You said that this was going to be your strongest section. Is your strongest section?
I'd like to think so. You're going to tell me otherwise?
I'm not going to say a word. Did you know all those answers?
No.
Really?
Oh, no. I guessed a couple.
What about Fiona? What about you? You a sporty person?
No, I'd say appalling. But we're all looking very hopefully at you for the answers.
Not during the questions.
No, of course not.
Clearly not. And Gary, bit of a sporty fan?
Yeah, of course. Yes, I love sport.
You don't sound convinced to me at all.
I love sport. What are you going to ask me next?
Nothing at all, Anne.
All right.
OK, well, we're on the home straight, and there's a chance for you to pick up some points in this final round because it's our miscellany section, and it covers everything and anything from the year. First, a few reminders, followed by 10 questions. Now, only 10 seconds each this time, so pencils poised. The Queen Mother buried? Was it Sandringham, Balmoral, Windsor or Glamis? Who married Sarah Girling in July? Nicolas Cage, Charles Kennedy, Greg Rosetsky or Ken Livingstone? Which of these won the Booker Prize? Life of Pi, Dirt Music, The Story of Lucy Galt or Family Matters? Which fraudster helped Cherie Blair buy 2 flats? Peter Foster, Paul Bass, Richard Beck or Mike Holston? And where did white farmers lose their homes? Was it Tanzania, Namibia, Kenya or Zimbabwe? Which warship ran aground in Australian waters? HMS Nottingham, York, Halifax or Exeter? The Miss World contest was moved to London from where? China, India, Turkey, Nigeria. Who wrote A Prison Diary by FF8282? David Shayler, Jeffrey Archer, Ronnie Biggs or Jonathan Aitken? In MMR, what does the R stand for? Rabies, rheumatism, rubella or rickets? Finally, who is on the back of the new £5 note? Jane Austen, Elizabeth Fry, Emmeline Pankhurst or Christine Hamilton? Yes, you've done it. You have now taken part. but I can hear these rugby players. That was the biggest ever interactive review of the year. 70 questions. Congratulations at home if you've completed them all. If you've still got any blanks on your scorecards, have a guess. You have nothing to lose.
One guy who should have done very well is Andy Harvey. You're a pub quiz champ, aren't you?
That's right, yeah, every Monday night at the Beehive Curdworth.
Now, has that pub quiz knowledge helped you here this evening?
No, probably not at all.
What was your best section, do you reckon?
Film, television.
Yeah?
Yeah.
OK. How many times have you actually won in your pub quiz?
Not
Admit,
many.
Andy, it's
not
twice.
many. Twice.
It's
It's
Andy.
twice, yes.
Good
It's
stuff.
for free beer.
Good luck this evening. Thanks so
Thank
much
you.
indeed for taking part. Annie?
Yes, so, Charlie, you're looking very confident there.
Am I?
Yeah? No? Do you think you've done well?
Probably not, but who knows?
Joe Brown's terribly hoping that you've beaten the cabbies, aren't you?
I'm hoping we've beaten the rugby players.
Jeremy Bowen, you should know the answer to everything.
No, absolutely not. I've just demonstrated that very well.
OK, who is confident here? Mark?
You know, I actually pressed the wrong button once.
That's
by
no
mistake.
excuse.
No.
No. You don't think you've done well? Do we know how well they've done? Is no one going to tell us? No.
Still collating.
OK.
Still collating the
They're
evidence.
still collecting it. Are you confident, Fiona?
It was kind of going all right in the news section, and then it went very badly pear-shaped in the sports.
What, in the sports? Yes, I don't blame you, actually. OK.
Most memorable event, Piers, of 2002?
Oh, well, the best moment was George Bush choking on the pretzel, and the worst moment was when he survived, I think.
And how would you have done, John?
I've done pretty badly, I'm afraid. I thought I was quite good at movies, but all those films, most of them, I hadn't seen, I'm afraid. It was a bit of a blow to my personal esteem.
How about you, Piers? How would you have done?
I would have done brilliantly, obviously. No, I think I
Better
would
than the IQ
have done
test result.
marginally better than the IQ test, in which I was unbelievably thick. So I think OK, probably. I think my money's on Fiona over there. She's looking very confident to me.
Any surprises here? I mean, the rugby players are doing very well, John.
Well, they're brighter than you think they are, aren't they? They're doing quite well. I've got to say, I think the cabbies are doing great. Never insult the cabbies. And so are the secretaries. Fantastic, yeah.
Hairdressers, never forget someone who works with scissors.
Never underestimate them. Teenagers doing really well. And you're doing great.
Annie.
OK, after the news, we'll be back with the answers and we'll be able to see if Oldham has beaten Newham, if those who read tabloid newspapers have done better than the broadsheet readers, whether women, which I hope have done better than the men, and whether Leicester and Liverpool will repeat the success they had in the IQ test in May, and whether, again, Londonderry will be bottom and shame themselves.
We'll be finding out whether the parents have outwitted their kids. The hairdressers have beaten the cabbies. Whether the secretaries have shown the rugby players how to play the game.
There's plenty to find out. We'll be back after a short news break on Choice.